Lots of important updates and a lot of news coming in right now surrounding the coronavirus, the elites, and of course, re-education camps that we're going to get into right before reminding you that these important free daily news videos are only possible because of your support on wearechange.org/donate. wearechange.org/donate. The link will be in the description below. There are many ways to help fight for free thought and speech, with, of course, support of independent media organizations. Check out the link in the description below. Now, as you know, by watching this independent media organization, that we were very critical of the bought and sold mainstream media that service private interests. And again, I think it's pretty blatant that this is happening, but this became absolutely unavoidable with the latest opinion piece from the Washington Post that literally was titled, quote, "It's time to give the elites a bigger say in choosing the president." An article that I actually read was still titled this originally, but just moments ago in the making of this video, the title of it was changed after you get through their ads here. Hold on. But they just changed the title to, quote, "It's time to switch to preference primaries in a desperate attempt to try to decrease the flack that they're getting for honestly something that they're just being open and honest about." And again, the title has changed, but the context of the article is still the same. And what the article advocates is that the political party establishment figures get to choose who their candidates will be for upcoming elections, banning, voters from choosing the president themselves, from choosing their politicians to represent them, which again is a total joke in itself because politicians represent special interests and the big money that puts them in there. But according to Julia Azari, who wrote this opinion piece, that this is going to be a better system because the elites will know better which candidate will represent the issues better. And it's it's calling for an oligarchy, which in its sense is not actually too far away from the actual system that we have now, since again many elites are just above the law and get to do whatever they want, which leads me to ask, there's nothing that could possibly go wrong with elites deciding who gets to have power over us, right? There's nothing that could go wrong with a small number of individuals having that power. By the way, also another super rich megalomaniac connected to the royal family, connected to Pinocchio pedo Prince Andrew, as he is called in the media by some. This, of course, is a major fashionista executive from Canada named Peter Nygard, a man who is being accused of, again, doing the most unspeakable, horrible actions against children. Actions that, if you're a part of the elite, you get to get away with. Also, on yet another private island where many elites, including Prince Andrew, Oprah Winfrey, and George H.W. Bush visited often. How many frickin' places exist like this? And why is Prince Andrew in all of them? Anyway, we got a new development around this Canuck named Nygard with new photos coming out. We can't show you the full photos here of yet again a very creepy old man surrounding, just being extremely inappropriate against very, very, very young women that are, and could be 4 times their age of Nygard. But don't worry. The elites, that all hang out on these private islands, they should have more power. And and again, this shouldn't be a surprise by the newspaper that is owned by billionaire technocrat Jeff Bezos himself. And again, people need to realize already we live under an oligarch system, which maybe makes this article more of a psyop than we think. But we look at the 3 front runners in this next kind of selection that's publicly happening right now, and essentially it's Donald Trump, Michael Bloomberg now, and Bernie Sanders. What do all three of these individuals have in common? Ask yourself that particular question and then come to a rational conclusion to how the system actually works. And guess what? All of them are just friends and pretending and putting on a WWE style wrestling show to convince you that it is real. Meanwhile, all of us are being duped, divided and conquered, and ruled over, giving up our sovereignty and power to megalomaniac, plutocratic beasts that, again, they're all friends. It's all one big club. As a new video is coming out showing how Michael Bloomberg said that he loves Donald Trump. And again, they all hang out, they all golf together, and let's be honest here, they put on a hell of a show for the general public to consume that, of course, the media that everyone trusts bastardizes as the slow, perpetual push for total totalitarianism and takeover of every aspect of our life is slowly acquired right in front of our eyes, with candidates like Bernie Sanders having the lead, with someone that is the complete epitome of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons gaining the lead on him, who, of course, many people correctly accuse of buying the presidency. So yeah, not many good choices for this year's 2020 oligarch selection, with many others just dropping out or totally selling out. And in very related close news to all of that, we just got the news today that former presidential hopeful Andrew Yang joined CNN as a political commentator. Yes, the network that talks about black holes swallowing up airplanes had a host eat human brain on national television. The news organization that stood behind Michael Avenatti, that was also literally sued by little children for bullying them and had to pay them a huge sum of money. Yeah, that news organization, Andrew Yang just decided to join. With my official response to this news being... Now, moving to an unrelated topic, we of course have the latest information coming in from the Chinese coronavirus, which according to the official numbers has already a total of 75,000 people confirmed with the virus, 2,000 people being deceased from it, with 15,000 people allegedly recovering from it. But it's important to note that these are official numbers as the virus spreads that many people put in doubt, since the Chinese authorities cannot be trusted. But one thing assures that this virus is spreading, especially in South Korea, as they have just seen a sudden increase of over 50% new cases since yesterday. We also got news of a very high-profile Chinese film director dying from this disease, which should be concerning for many people, since, of course, this was an affluent, established person who couldn't find a bed for his father, who originally got sick with the virus. And again, this is something rare for someone with his prestige in China. And after a voluntary home quarantine, the virus infected his mother, his sister, and effectively also killed him, highlighting, of course, the big important issue here, and that is the lack of proper medical infrastructure to deal with this virus in China, as this virus that a lot of strong evidence suggests came from the biolab's weapons facility that we've been talking about from the very beginning of this, but it shows you how just very contagious this virus is and how there is a high rate of mortality. And again, this is just one example that we get to go off of because it's public, but other than that, there's very, very little confidence in the Chinese big, established, elite, controlled state that they are telling the truth, because they've been caught lying about so many important issues surrounding this virus. But if you criticize the elite-run state of the Chinese government, well, the Chinese are now going to call you racist, as the official Chinese government expelled 3 Wall Street Journal reporters right now because they said their reporting was, quote, racist, which is absolutely freaking hilarious. And I say that because again, many people may not know this, but not many people have traveled to China, and if you don't have Chinese friends and don't really understand that culture, you have to be reminded, the Chinese are like super racist. Not all of them, of course. There's some exceptions to this rule, but especially if you go to China. Holy cow! I can't even tell you. YouTube would even ban me from just describing the racism that exists and is prevalent in Chinese society, and this is a new level of desperation of just well, I still can't believe they said this, and this is just very rich to say the least, as of course China is also refusing to allow any other foreign journalists to come into their country, but they are accepting shipments of face masks and medicine. But again, this highlights another thing. The small elite communist party ruled is full of crap, and when you have top down control, you have a recipe for disaster, which many people think we're already in, as the coronavirus also spread to Iran, just recently killing 2 people, and now how quarantine violators are being herded into, quote, re-education camps. So yeah, I think it's very safe to say that the situation is definitely getting worse, and that the quarantines that the Chinese government have established aren't working that well. And again, we still have to criticize the Chinese government here, because instead of actually dealing with this medical emergency, they arrested doctors, journalists, and other people who were warning you about it, and spending valuable resources on, of course, controlling information rather than, of course, giving you a full perspective about what is actually happening. And of course, as we're getting some few videos getting past the massive Chinese censorship firewall, we're seeing a glimpse of something the world hasn't faced in a very, very long time. And of course, this will have global health effects, but also economic effects, as we've just seen a Chinese train in rush hour being completely shut down, as many companies, including Apple, Adidas, Puma, are warning that there are going to be significant economic effects from all of this. So yeah, as the people who break quarantine are being put in re-education camps, that new leaked documents show that Muslims are put in for the horrible crime of growing their beard or visiting foreign websites. Yeah, the Chinese state will put you in a re-education camp that we still don't know exactly what happens if you grow your beard or visit foreign websites. This is, again, the Chinese state that's being praised by Donald Trump for doing an excellent job fighting the coronavirus, and praised, of course, by other elitist oligarchs like Michael Bloomberg, while Bernie Sanders wants to implement some of their previous policies and protocols that brought them to the current state that they're in right now. So yeah, you got those 3 choices. Exciting. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, let me know which ones you will be choosing. Not choosing. You don't choose. You're just a slave. Let me know which one you hope gets selected down in the comment section below. I bet we might have a little disagreement on that, but that's okay. And anyway, sincerely, thank you for supporting independent media, away from all the facetiousness, away from all the jokes. Seriously, thank you so much for being there for us, for allowing these videos to be here for you every single day. I promise never to leave. With your support, we're only going to do so much more. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.